Manhood is on a steep decline. From underperforming students to effeminate behavior, traditional masculinity is slowly vanishing. What's happening to men today? The entertainment industry often uses fathers as comic relief. In TV sitcoms and films today, fathers are often portrayed as foolish and childish. Families are held together by the strength and wisdom of the mother despite the antics of the foolish father. Men's troubles extend beyond schooling. Men commit 90% of homicides in the United States and represent 77% of homicide victims. They're the demographic group most at risk of being victimized by violent crime. They are 3.5 times more likely than women to die by ending themselves, and their life expectancy is 4.9 years shorter than women's. The workforce, a traditional bastion of masculine domination, is seeing similar trends. Participation in the labor force has been declining for prime-age men for decades, and about half of prime-age men who are not in the labor force may have a serious health condition that is a barrier to work. Psychologically, many men appear to feel that the defining traits of masculinity, including toughness, dominance, self-reliance, restriction of emotional expression, and the avoidance of traditionally feminine attitudes and behaviors, are under attack. Of course, there's nothing wrong with mothers having strength of character and wisdom. Fathers are to be leaders characterized by commanding respect, hard work, love, service, and integrity. But this is not the only way the male role is being downgraded and changed in today's world. In fact, manhood and masculinity in general are in crisis. This video will look at the core problem of manhood in our societies today. Today, in lower-level school systems, terms of leadership, finding impressive males who are natural leaders is difficult. However, there are plenty of impressive female students who would be called natural leaders. This is a societal problem. Statistics demonstrate these anecdotal observations. According to an article in November 2021, on average in the K-12 system, boys earn lower grades and spend less time studying than girls. Men are missing from college campuses. What's being done to bring them back? Men are disappearing from higher education. According to the Brookings Institution, in the US in 2019, over 1.1 million women graduated with a bachelor's degree, compared to fewer than 860,000 men. At every level, from associate degrees to doctorate degrees, women are graduating in higher numbers than men. In the US, colleges are 59.5% female and 40.5% male. In the UK, colleges are 56.6% female and 44.1% male. This is not just an American problem. We also see other troubling trends among males. Increasing celebration of gay culture, gender bending, and the examples of males in media have led to feminization of many boys. Just walk into any large American high school and you will encounter boys who dress and act feminine. Though this is a complex social problem, we can highlight three major causes of this crisis. Number 1. Video games and media. Boys, young adult guys, and even grown men spend inordinate amounts of time playing video games and consuming media. Those statistics on excessive gaming are nearly impossible to gather. It is becoming clear to many that video game addiction is a major societal problem, mainly impacting males. Some of the unintended consequences of excessive gaming and media consumption are that many spend less time on productive pursuits such as study, recreation, and healthy social interaction, become desensitized to violence. The link between excessive violent gaming and mass shootings perpetrated by disturbed and mentally unstable young men is documented and become disconnected from the real world. Number 2. Missing fathers. Increasing numbers of children are growing up without fathers in the home. The largest cause of this problem is births to unmarried mothers. In 2019, 40% of all births were to unmarried mothers. Even among those children born to married couples, about half of them will see their parents divorce before the age of 18. Of course, not having a father in the home doesn't automatically mean a boy will grow up to have serious problems, but it can be a major factor for some. For most young men today, their big concern is, where have all the fathers gone? Number 3. Lack of strong, positive male role models. This is closely connected with missing fathers. because the father should be the primary male influence in a boy's life. With the father largely missing, what other examples are there for boys to look up to? Young people look heavily to celebrities and the media. Sadly, the examples of celebrities' personal lives do not help. Examples of proper manhood in today's mass media are even worse. Movies in the last decade have capitalized on the humor of the unmotivated, unambitious young adult males. These movies often portray men as lazy, casual drug users who play video games and avoid real careers and family. A whole genre of movies has developed based on the weak and lame male theme. Consider the example of the 2007 film Knocked Up. Seth Rogen plays an unemployed, uneducated slacker who is more interested in getting high and drunk than doing much of anything. Catherine plays an educated, motivated, and successful career woman who gets pregnant for Rogen's character. Most of the movie's humor is based on highlighting the disparity between the leading male and female characters. This general theme is played out in a continuous stream of television shows and movies, and sadly, in real lives as anecdotal evidence and statistics bear out. To make this problem worse, some male celebrities wear traditionally feminine clothing in public and on social media. One popular male musician frequently appears in public wearing female clothing. A closer look at the state of men reveals a more complicated picture. Masculinity is not a one-size-fits-all phenomenon, and generalizing across this vast, complex category is risky. To wit, the masculinity-related problems of middle-aged men are bound to differ slightly from those of high school. Furthermore, males' problems are not necessarily caused by maleness. Issues of class and race are often intermingled with or supersede gender effects. Poverty hurts poor men more than their maleness. Unfortunately, all these actions of feminizing men are deliberate in order to weaken men and put women in charge. It is very hard for young boys and men today to find a proper masculine role model who will guide them into the right path of manhood. The old Sylvester Stallone movies are gone and replaced with weak feminine beta males. What is the solution to the crisis of declining masculinity? The decline of true masculinity is real. The danger to our boys and young men is real. Unless major changes are made, we will see this trend continue and worsen. The effects of the crisis will not be fully felt until members of the present young generation enter their 30s and 40s and begin to take the reins of political, corporate, and family leadership. This should be a wake-up call for every level of society. The three problems mentioned in this video must be solved if this crisis is to be reversed. Here are three practical action steps that should be taken immediately to deal with this problem. 1. Put reasonable limits on media consumption. Parents can limit their sons' video game usage and media consumption. The habits that are built before the age of 18 are often the habits that continue throughout the 20s and 30s. Parents should put responsible limits on the amount of time their children, particularly boys, spend gaming or consuming media. It's all about balance. 2. Preserve the family structure. Men and women of all ages need to commit themselves to having children only within a committed marriage. The old masculine men's way of limiting physical intimacy to marriage was not designed just to restrict human sexuality, but was designed to create stable and healthy societies. Breaking this essential law of human conduct is wreaking havoc on the lives of young men and society itself. 3. Men need to be better examples. Individual men need to take up the mantle of leadership and example. The problem of the lack of positive examples cannot be solved by anyone other than you. It is up to each individual man to choose to live in a way that positively impacts others. This is a call to action for men of all ages. The natural question is, what does a real man look like? Who should be our model of real, healthy manhood in the 21st century? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It motivates me to create more content for you. See you next time.